Our Sunday NFL ticket looks like this. It's the Lions and the Ravens. Pretty good matchup and a pretty good guy beside me, Cam Stewart, David Bastl with you. Let's start off with that game and one of the better games of this Sunday ticket. Right now at Sports Interaction, the Ravens 3-point favorites against the Lions. The Lions are looking good. They actually entered my top 5 power rankings. This is a really big test for them.
It is. And now David Montgomery's hurt too, Dave, so we're going to see what happened. But you saw that team in Tampa Bay and what they're doing? That was fantastic. See the block by Reynolds? He just smoked the Tampa Bay DB. They got a touchdown. Detroit's doing all the little things well. And I'll tell you, Baltimore, we were on them in that game in London. But I got to say, I'm getting points with the Lions. I know they're not going to do this every week, but how do I get in front of this freight train right now, Dave? Yep. Goff's playing well. The receivers are good. They get blocking. Give me a dog in the Lions. Let's go.
You might remember the last time these two teams faced off. It was September of 2021. Justin Tucker from 66 yards was the difference. That was incredible heartbreak. And by the way, Dan Campbell was on that sideline. I'm sure they remember this. We move on to the Raiders and the Chicago Bears right now to Sports Interaction. The Raiders 3-point favorites. Justin Fields listed as doubtful as we make this taping. So enter Tyson Bagent, who becomes the 29th starter for the Chicago Bears since the 2000 season. It's been ridiculous at the QB spot.
Bag it or bagel, Steve. I don't know what the heck. Please, Justin Fields, start this game and I'll take the Bears, but I don't know what this guy's doing. My buddy told me his dad's actually like a power champion, one of those guys that like lifts trucks with his teeth, and he's an arm wrestling champion. Anyway, play like your father. Give me the Bears +3. Listen, I know the Raiders are doing better. That safety at the end to cover against the Patriots, you got 3.5. Oh, yeah, burn time. But I'm going to say this. The Bears, they grinded against Minnesota. They didn't win the game, but I'm praying that Fields starts. If not, Dave, it's probably a pass. I can't go down with the bagel, but I love points.
Yeah, it's not exactly a game of the week, but it is a game, and we will be covering it. We move on to another one with the Bills and the Patriots. Right now in Sports Interaction, it opened up at 8. It's now 8.5 points favoring the Bills. That looked ridiculously sloppy on Sunday Night Football. A lot of people, including myself, thought they probably should have lost that game to the Giants.
They could have. I saw there were some tic-tac calls, but you're right. They were brutal in that game. The Bills did nothing. Got to give the Giants credit. Their defense was fired up. But, Dave, I'm going to tell you something. I had the Patriots +3.5 in that game and, should have bought the point to 4 to get the push. Max Crosby and the safety at the end. Let's call it out for what it is. Mac Jones is a dirty player. He reeks. The whole Patriots, they stink. This team is brutal. Buffalo coming off that, I'm going to tell you something, Dave. They're going to be so motivated. They love kicking the crap out of the Patriots. I don't care. Bills by 17 on the road. Ooh, Patriots suck.
I love that. By the way, the Buffalo Bills 7-2-1 in their last 10 games against the number when facing New England. So something to think about there. Commanders and Giants. We go on to New York City, where the Commanders right now at SIA are 2-point favorites, division rivals. They know a lot about each other.
I think the Giants, Dave, I'll give them all that credit in the world for going up to Orchard Park and playing the Bills tough. But you know what? It's a low spread. I'm going to take the Commanders. Great performance against Atlanta as well. This team's starting to come around. The defense is coming around. It is a very, very difficult game, but I still don't believe in the Giants. I don't care if Barkley's back. We don't know the quarterbacking situation. If it's Tyrod Taylor, I'm going to smash Washington. If Jones comes back, it's a little bit more of a question mark, but I like the Commanders to win this game by a field goal, and we're only laying 2.
Yeah, and interesting enough, I just hope that it is nothing like it was last year, because everybody remembers the 2020 tie. There was actually a tie between these two teams last year.
Is it a void bet?
It was...
Yeah, a tie, you get your money back on a money line, don't you?
I was going to say, that's you'd be an interesting bookkeeper.
Thank you, Dave.
Let's move on to the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Sports Interaction has the Seahawks, of course, heavy favorites in this one. It's down to 7.5 points. It opened at around 8 points. Seattle should have their way with the Cardinals, but familiar foes once again.
The Cardinals always play the Seahawks tough, Dave, and I'm a Seahawks fan, but I got to be honest with you, the Cardinals, they look pretty good in the first quarter against the Rams, and they fell apart. I'm going to tell you, Seattle lost a heartbreaker against Cincinnati. They actually had many opportunities to win. Do you know DK Metcalf has more penalties than he this year than he's been in the league? Like, honest to God, dude, just relax. You're one of the greatest players, but always chirping, always getting in trouble. Just do your thing, move the sticks. A lot of people are down on Geno Smith. It's going to be fine, Dave. I'm going to tell you something. They have to kill these birds. I like the Seahawks by 10. They cover the number.
Pretty good number you register there with a 10, because last year Seattle swept the home-and-home series, winning by 10 points in both of those games. So you could be on that number of 10, and it looks pretty good. Let's go on to Los Angeles, where a pretty good Rams team, maybe an overachieving Rams team, favorites right now at Sports Interaction against the Steelers, a field goal favorite.
I'm going to tell you this, Dave. The Rams, They played better in the second half. I was not impressed. They were sleepwalking in a divisional game. As for the Steelers, when I get them in these lines as dogs, I got to take them. I know they're not a great football team. I really don't care. I think they go in there and win this game outright. So I'm going to take the 3 points. It's not my favorite game of the week, but I'm going to tell you, if I have to bet it, give me the black and gold. I think they can win outright, but I'll take the points.
Interesting. Cooper Kupp's been a difference maker for the Rams. So in this game, we're going to oppose each other because I'm going with the L.A. Rams. Yeah.
Rams.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the Chargers and the Chiefs. Almost a must-win situation for Los Angeles considering what they did on Monday night. Do they want to fall that far in a division against a team that's on top of the division? By the way, Kansas City 5.5-point favorites, winners of 5 straight games.
Here's the deal. I don't care. The Chargers are the biggest chokers going. Everyone's going to go, all they do is choke, choke, choke. Divisional game. I'm going to tell you something, Dave. Without Harrison Butker and that long field goal, what'd he nail it from 62? Denver would have covered against these guys. I know the Chargers stink, but they're getting points in this game. It's going to be real close. They play the Chiefs close. I'm taking the Lightning Bolts. I think they can win the game outright, but you know, Dave, it's the Chargers. Chargers going to Charger. They're going to screw up, and Kansas City's going to win by 3. Give me the points.
I'm taking the full points as well, as long as it's around 5.5, because the last 3 meetings right now, KC 2 wins by 3 points and 1 win by 4 points. So they're all in that tight range.
Tight.
So 5.5, you could be onto something. We move on to the sports interaction game of the day. It's the Dolphins and Eagles on Sunday Night Football. Philadelphia, 1.5-point favorites. Pretty good matchup of 2 top 5 teams overall. Non-conference teams as well, so there's not a lot of history here between these 2 powerhouses.
If you look at the game, Dave, I think the Dolphins are a better team in my opinion right now, but Philadelphia's favored, and the thing is, coming off a loss outright to your Jets, they're going to be angry. Man, I don't know what to do with this game. The one thing, the key to the game, you know, the great D-line of Philadelphia versus Tua. If Tua can make some plays, they're going to win this game. I got to take the Dolphins right now, but something's telling me Philly brings their best effort. I got to take the small underdog.
Consider some points in this one as well. It's one of the heavier numbers on the board, 52.5. We could be going north of that. Enjoy Sunday Night Football.